Russian forces weakened and stretched thin. Ukraine is pressing forward in Toretsk with a coordinated and relentless assault. Using precision airstrikes, artillery and elite ground units, they are systematically dismantling Russian defences, paving the way for the next phase of their offensive, Euromaidan Press media outlet reports. The Ukrainian forces aim to capitalize on the weakened Russian presence and retake Toretsk. This would disrupt Russian plans, forcing them to prematurely commit reserves that are being gathered for a summer offensive on Kostiantynivka. By drawing Russian forces into another costly battle for Toretsk, similar to their previous failed attempts, Ukraine could drain Russian manpower and resources, effectively resetting their progress. If successful, this would indefinitely delay Russian offensive plans for Kostyantynivka, keeping them locked in a stalemate while Ukraine maintains momentum in other front sectors. Euromaidan Press reports. It is noted that to keep Russian forces at bay in the Toretsk area, Ukraine is deploying some of its most elite assault units, including the Azov brigade, in a coordinated, combined arms warfare strategy. This means Ukrainian forces are not only conducting infantry assaults, but also integrating air support, artillery and drone strikes to maximize their battlefield effectiveness. Euromaidan Press says that by using guided bombs to demolish fortified Russian positions, Ukraine has managed to inflict heavy casualties and disrupt enemy assault plans. Even when some Russian troops survive these strikes, they are left scattered and disorganized, and their defensive positions are rendered useless, making it significantly harder for them to launch counterattacks. Meanwhile, Russian infantry squads operating outside their fortified positions are quickly detected by Ukrainian reconnaissance drones and exposed to precise artillery fire. In many cases, just one or two well-placed shells are enough to eliminate entire squads. As Russian soldiers started maintaining more distance between each other to avoid becoming a target for artillery, Ukrainians extensively deployed FPV kamikaze drones, which are capable of picking off enemy soldiers one by one with precision, ensuring that even dispersed units remain vulnerable. Euromaidan Press says that this operation suppressed Russian forces trapped in isolated holdouts, as fear of Ukrainian strikes kept them from moving in the open, allowing Ukrainian armored vehicles to navigate the streets with minimal risk. This in turn enables the deployment of demolition squads who systematically identify enemy hideouts. Once located, they place large explosives made from repurposed anti-tank mines as demolition charges, effectively leveling the fortified positions and eliminating the Russian troops inside. Additionally, the Azov brigade had been deployed to the southern flank of Toretsk and had announced that they had completed their clearing operation at Shebinivka and Leonidivka, where isolated Russian squads that had failed to capture the settlements ended up trapped in basements for months. The brigade's stormtroopers conducted cautious advances, using small arms fire and grenades to flush the Russian troops out of their positions. Those who chose to fight were swiftly eliminated, while others surrendered, allowing Ukrainian forces to secure complete control over the villages. With stable control over Shebinivka and Leonidivka, Ukrainian forces have secured the southern flank of their Toretsk offensive, enabling more aggressive maneuvers in the Zabalka micro-district. Control of this district allows Ukrainians to exert more pressure on the Russian southern flank, forcing them to redeploy additional reserves and further extend their defense lines. Euromaidan Press recalls that overall, the Ukrainian forces managed to suppress the Russian forces in the Toretsk area through aggressive and well-coordinated combined arms warfare using aviation and artillery combined with ground raids by stormtroopers and demolition squads. The completion of the Shebinivka and Leonidivka clearing operation has fulfilled the Azov brigade's task at Toretsk, as they were deployed here precisely to address the Russian threat and are now free to either continue their actions in Toretsk or be redeployed to use their skills in the many other directions where Ukrainians are slowly regaining the initiative.
Another footage has been released of Ukrainian fighter jets striking positions, command posts, important logistics lines, and bridges of the occupying Russian army in various directions of the front, including in Russia. Ukrainian aviation usually uses high-precision GBU 39/BSDB, GBU 62 JDAMR, which are manufactured in the United States and sent as part of military aid and French-made AASM-250 Hammer air bombs. In recent days, the Ukrainian army has also struck several bridges used by the Russian army to transport military cargo in the Belgorod region, where the Ukrainian army is conducting a military operation. It is worth noting that over the past months, the amount of use of Western air bombs by Ukrainian fighters has grown significantly, which is confirmed by the publication of a large number of new footage. In this video, in one fragment, one of the JDAMR air bomb does not reach the target and falls nearby. Recall that the Ukrainian military released an interview with a Ukrainian pilot flying US-made F-16 aircraft recently. The unnamed pilot describes how the different kinds of Western aircraft and ammunition are helping Ukraine to counter Russia's long-standing advantage in the air. With Western equipment, our close air support missions have improved, he said. The pilot praised the performance of Franco-British Scalp/Storm Shadow cruise missiles in battles against Russian forces. Recall that Ukraine has become the first country to employ 1,000-pound Mark 83 bombs adapted with JDAMR or Joint Direct Attack Munition Extended Range Guidance Systems, the Aviationist reports. The publication notes that the 1,000-foot bomb might have been specifically produced for the Ukrainian Air Force. Facing dwindling Soviet-era stockpiles, the Ukrainian Air Force has retrofitted its Soviet-era jets to deploy US and French-supplied guided bombs amid the ongoing war. While Ukraine operates an undisclosed number of US-made F-16s, it remains unclear whether they are used for bombing missions. The Luhansk Operational Tactical Group under the Ukrainian Armed Forces has prevented a large-scale offensive by the occupying Russian army in the direction of Siversk city in eastern Donetsk region. Despite 11 consecutive attacks in this direction, Russian soldiers were unable to advance. 2 quadricycles, 10 military vehicles, 2 buggies, and 31 motorcycles were destroyed by artillery and drone strikes. More than 100 occupying soldiers who participated in the attack were killed.